it almost happened again. I had the mic was muted, but we are back. We're about to, let me fix my mic. All right, so we're about to break down EuroCAD. You can obviously see where our take profit level was. Yeah, price reacted amazing, right? We targeted that 1 to 2. If I zoom out, you can obviously see where our target was this resistance zone. You can see where price was bouncing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see how well this area was respected as resistance. So as we broke above that major area of interest being 147,618, I wanted to see price get back up into that zone, which we did perfectly, right? So to continue with the breakdown, it's the same thing as yesterday, right? It's the same thing I talked about yesterday. I'm looking to take trades off of my area of interest, right? So I'm not going to go too much into details, just because if you did miss the video, the live breakdown from yesterday, just go check it out. I'm about to just break down why I held throughout this whole pullback, this wick pullback, and that continuation, right? So let's get to it. So, before we start, always give our thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Again, He is amazing. I'm just beyond blessed to finally be at a position where I can say I understand the charts and I'm able to give back to y'all. Like, that's always been a prayer of mine, and I just give all my thanks to Him because I'm just in a position where I can do so. So I'm extremely happy. But let's get down with the breakdown. Get down with the get down. So on the daily time frame, you can obviously see after we had that break past that recent zone, the close above, and that retest, which is how we found our first entry, we then was followed by another break of structure towards the upside right there. You can see where price had that beautiful, let's go into replay mode so it can be more clean. So boom, right, as we found that position, price then closed above that recent major area of interest being 147,618. And like I talk about all the time, when we are in an uptrend, what do we have to do as we're going in an uptrend? Price has to, well, it doesn't have to, but majority of the times, price is going to form that pullback towards where an area of interest, and simple as day, the area of interest is just a recent break of structure, right? As long as I have that recent break of structure and I have a body close above, that's my break of structure, that's my area of interest, and that's where I want to see price get back towards, right? So as we came back here, price finds support, and as price finds support, like we talk about all the time, find our switch of structure and continue towards the upside. It is key that we wait until price gets towards that area of interest. We wait for the lower time frames to give us a switch of structure at our area of interest. And the only thing I mean is that, like we talked about before, even though the higher time frames is overall, you can see bullish, the lower time frames might be bearish since it is a different time frame chart. So it might look like this. Just wait for the break of structure towards the upside, the retest of the area of interest, followed by our bullish or bearish engulfing candlestick, depending on what type of trend we're in, and continue to ride that trade towards the upside, right? It's simple as day. And so that is exactly what happened right here. As you take a look, like we just talked about, price was forming new higher highs and higher lows, right? And as we're in this uptrend, price then gave me a beautiful break of structure. Once I was able to identify that break of structure, I'm not looking to add a position due to the fact that I like more of a a cleaner, just simple break and retest type of setup, giving me my entry in, like I say all the time, continuing to ride that trend. But for this is just more of a confirmation to hold my trade based off of what the trend is telling me, right? So after we seen that close above, I wanted to see price get back into 147,618, that being my daily area of interest. And like we talk about all the time, the daily and the 4 hour are the only two time frames we use only and strictly to identify our trends, right? As long as our daily and our 4 hour are in sync, we are good to trade no matter what, I promise. Right, so boom, our daily is bullish. Our daily just gave us a break of structure. Now we're just waiting for price to get back into our daily area of interest, right? So We drop down towards the 4-hour time frame, and as we drop down towards the 4-hour time frame, do not forget this is just to identify structure, right? So on my 4-hour time frame, I want to see my 4-hour one at my major area of interest. I want to see price get back in towards that zone, well, into that zone, just like we just talked about. I want to see a break and retest and maintain above my areas, right? So boom, I want to see price get back into there. Secondly, I want to see price in a upwards trend. If my 4-hour, as you can see, is in this downwards trend, I am not interested in taking a trade. Why is that? Because I have my higher time frame telling me bearish, and I have my lower time frame telling me bullish, right? So that doesn't make sense. You're confused. One person's telling you turn left, the other one's telling you turn right. You're confused, right? But if you have both time frames in sync, both telling me up or both telling me down, same thing as somebody, well, two people on the card telling you, hey, turn left, the other one saying, yeah, listen to them, go left. It's easier because you have more confidence, right? It's just following directions. So boom, that's the second thing I want to see. One, I want to see price get back into my major area of interest, and then two, I just want to see price in the same trend as my higher time frames. That is what we were able to identify. So after seeing price not only form this beautiful left head and right shoulder, we was able to now break through that neckline, aka that break of structure. Price then had that beautiful pullback towards that major area of interest. Now I just want to see price maintain above. If we're able to do that and form rejection, we're good to start looking for entries, right? So boom, after seeing that, I want to see price get back into my zone. Boom, now price is back into our zone. For entries, simple as day. Drop towards the lower time frames, identify if we are in an upwards or if we are in a downwards trend, and if you are able to see this like I am, you can obviously see how we went from this bearish trend to now having a switch of structure, breaking that lower high, now forming a new higher high, aka giving me a bullish structure. Now everything is telling me up. As price did that, I want to see price again just get back towards my major area of interest. If you're able to identify, only thing we're doing on the lower time frames is waiting for price to get towards our area of interest that we was able to identify off of the higher time frames. Wait for the shift of structure so the lower time frames are now in sync with our higher time frame structure or higher time frame trend. Wait on the bullish or bearish engulfing signal, then you get into your trade, right? So boom, I did that. I waited for price to, now after we had that break, I waited for price to have that pullback until my major area of interest, waiting for price to show signs of rejection and also show me signs that buyers are stepping in, right? So boom, now you can obviously see we had that pullback, and if I zoom up, you can obviously see where price presented us with a beautiful bullish engulfing candlestick. Again, if I wanted to, I could have added a position. My entry would have been something like this. Boom, stop loss just around here. Why is that? Because now I want to have price to, well, let me get a little bit lower. Boom, I want to see price breathe a little bit. I don't want to hug price too much, because think about it, if I put my stop loss right here, price can still come back down, have some type of wick into 147.618, form that beautiful long wick like we talk about all the time, and we can see a body close something like this, right? And let me just change this. Boom, we can see something like that, right? Simple as day, we see it all the time within the market. So that's why if you just allow price to breathe a little bit, allow your stop loss to not only be below that major, if I can get my tool, be below that major area of interest, but also be below recent structure. If I go back towards the higher time frame, you can obviously see where our stop loss is at. If we draw this box, and if I put my box back on, boom, and let's delete this. Oh, we can keep it. Now, as you can take a look, not only are we underneath that major area of interest, but if we take a look towards the left, we are now underneath minor area of interest as well. You can obviously see where price is playing as resistance, and once we get into the zone, how it's having a hard time breaking through, right? So why not have my stops just below a zone where I see price struggling to break through a lot? So if price does get around here, I can see some type of wick rejection buildup and possibly see price continue towards the upside. But if not, price will just hit my stop loss and then continue towards the downside, and I'm just completely wrong about that trade, right? So boom, that's where my stop loss would have been. Let's delete this. Let's delete the, well, let's keep it for right now. And then I would have had the same take profit. I say it all the time. I target minimum a 1 to 2. If I'm able to double my risk, I'm happy with that. God has blessed me with the opportunity to win. So why not just take your profits, right? So boom, that's how my stop loss would have been. That's how my take profit would have been. Again, if I go back towards a higher time frame, we're just targeting recent overall structure. If I get my tool, you take a look towards the left, you can see resistance, 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 right? Just recent structure. That's all I'm doing. I'm targeting, or I'm using market structure. You won't see any lines on my chart. You won't see any indicators, none of that. Why? Because structure is all I need. It's all you need. If price is telling you up, or if you got a map and it's telling you to turn left, what do you want to do? Turn left, because it's clear as day. It's in front of your face, and why would you confuse yourself? Exactly. So boom, if I go back towards the lower time frame and we play this out, you can obviously see how price now reacts from our major area of interest and gives us a healthy push towards the upside. What did we just talk about? Imagine if I was hugging my position with a close stop loss because I want a big risk to reward. We would have got stopped out. Like I just talked about, allow price to breathe. If we go back towards the higher time frames, and again, we take a look, what is happening? Price is forming that rejection towards where? That minor area of interest. I'm just using market structure. I saw an area where price is having a hard time to break. I put my stops just below that zone. Why is that? Because if we're having a hard time breaking going towards the upside, we're going to have a hard time breaking going towards the downside. Simple, right? So boom. Now, if we continue to fast forward, you can obviously see where price rejects, reacts, gives us a now healthy bullish engulfing candlestick on the higher time frames. Keep in mind, if you see entry signals on the higher time frames, that is just a more, it's just a higher confluence. Well, slow down. It allows you to have more of a, what is it? It builds your confidence even more, right? Because now we have that entry signal given to us on the higher time frames. Higher time frame area of interest. Now we have a higher time frame entry signal. Why wouldn't this trade continue towards the upside? That is price is telling you what it's doing. Just follow what it gives you. Don't make it don't overcomplicate it. And then if we continue to fast forward, boom, we hit targets, and what happened? We react towards that zone perfectly. If we exit out, you can now see where price is having another bounce and possibly a continuation. But I'm happy with my profits that we were able to lock in already. So I'm more than blessed. Oh, we missed this position on Euro AUD. Look at how beautiful this is. Again, just a simple break and retest. You can obviously see broke recent structure. I waited for price to get back towards that area of interest, drop down towards the 4-hour time frame. What is the 4-hour time frame telling me? We are in a beautiful downwards trend. We have a left head, right shoulder. Price broke out, gave me a retest of that area of interest and also of my major area of interest. And now you can see we have a beautiful continuation towards the downside. For the entry, I just told y'all I will wait for the switch of structure, which we already had this beautiful downwards trend because we broke recent lows. So price is now already in a downtrend on my lower time frame. Just wait for the entry signal. So I waited and I dropped down towards a 15-minute time frame. Got my beautiful bearish engulfing candle. Again, stop loss just above my major area of interest and above the recent resistant line. It's guys, simple as day. And then you can obviously see how price is now pushing towards the downside. We didn't get into this trade, but I did have it drawn out. This is exactly my position if I were to trigger a position within this trade. But other than that, bro, like simple as day. It's not overcomplicating anything. I'm gone. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm about to continue to do breakdowns like these because I want you guys to have an idea of how simple trading can be once you have those understanding, once you have that patience, and once you just trust in yourself. Nobody else will ever push a button to tell you to get into a trade. Nobody will ever tell you when you should be looking at a trade. You have to be willing to do that on your own. You have to be willing to put in the grind, put in the work, and stop looking around to see how other people are doing, and instead put your faith into the Lord and continue to just have your eyes on the prize. Allow him to work in your life and continue to grind. It's gonna be hard, but as long as you got him on your side, it's gonna be easy. I promise you. When I'm gone, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.